Cool. Well, we're here again in Gstar, and we've got another great guest. Already a friend of Pocket Gamer, but I'm going to let him introduce himself anyway. So tell us, introduce yourself, Jeff.
Hi, Pocket Gamers viewers. I'm Jeff Lyndon, long-time follower of Pocket Gamers since 2008.
2008, yeah. Probably.
And I'm a co-founder and executive vice president of iDreamsky. We are one of the leading publishers in China. We publish very popular titles like Fruit Ninja, Temple Run, Angry Birds, Doodle Jump, and
never heard of them.
Yeah, you probably never heard of them. It's an old game, but you know they're still doing really well in China.
Yeah.
So we're the publisher for very popular games globally. And currently we have over 400 million user base in China.
Wow.
And you know, we are in a very happy position.
You're a happy man. So what's the kind of why are you in Gstar? Why are you in Korea today? Are you looking for more games or just holiday? What's the?
Well, that's what my wife thinks.
Okay.
But you know, I'm looking for more games in Korea. You know, China market is evolving. You know, we see a new trend coming up, which is Korea games going to China, Japanese games going to China, because they're more locally, the culturally more accepted.
It's closer, yeah.
Yeah, it's closer. Especially, you know, Korea have been heavily influenced by the Chinese gaming market.
Yeah.
So actually, a lot of Korean developers, when they're developing the game, they actually have thought about, you know, what if my game comes to China. So you know, we this August we signed one of the best Korea game, Cookie Run.
Okay. I know Cookie Run. Yeah, that's the big. Is that Cacao?
Yeah, that's the top within the top three. Okay. They break many records. I remember I read the App Index. They're the top 10 developers in the world right now.
Wow.
In terms of revenue.
You're working with the big guys. You've got more. That's good. Okay, so you, I mean, obviously you guys are based in China and you're bringing games to the Chinese market. So it sounds like you're obviously very focused on the Asian markets, the most important to you. But do you, what's your, you know, globally, where do you see as the most important markets in the mobile game space right now? You know, well, is Asia overtaken kind of Europe and the US now?
I think, you know, if you look at it, you know, like Puzzle and Dragon, and Cookie Run, you know, Cookie Run is just published in Korea, right? And just with their Korea revenue, they have got themselves into the top 10 on Google over
globally,
right? So you can see definitely Korea can generate lots and lots of cash.
Okay,
right? And especially because, you know, it's all gamers here. You know, it's like I think the gamer penetration is the highest in the world.
Sure.
You know, it makes a lot of sense. So I think, you know, in coming month or, you know, the coming quarter, you know, we're looking at more like, you know, US is North America is always going to be a key focus region.
Yeah.
You know, Europe kind of as a whole, and then Korea, Japan, and China is going to the few key regions for smartphone gaming.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So again, so I see you're based in China. You're obviously an expert in the Asian market generally. So I'm a Western developer, or you know, Europe, US, whatever. I mean, what's the kind of main thing, or a couple of things that I should need to consider when I'm coming either to China or kind of Korea? What should my strategy be to, you know, what do I start with?
So, you know, I won't call myself an expert of Asia. You know, Asia's pretty big.
Okay, Asia's okay.
And most, I would say, I'm an expert in China.
Okay, China's pretty big.
China's pretty big too. You know, with Korea, the first recommendation I can give any Western developer when they're coming to Asia is definitely look for a good partner to work with. Trying to take the control yourself and trying to build it yourself is not something that anyone can do. You know, it takes you to be like a Supercell or the king. You know, then you can probably do that. But if you're like not at that kind of level,
there's not many at that level. There's like probably two. That's it.
Building your own studio is very risky move. And that's for Korea and Japan for sure. You know, and never consider Korea and Japan the same market.
No, of course.
Japan and Korea is very different. They might have a lot of similarity in terms of, you know, gamer penetration, internet penetration, mobile internet penetration, smartphones. Yes, but you know, the game taste is very different. Now, when it comes to China, I think China is one of the most different market than any of the few markets that I just mentioned. Because if you look at it, Korea, Japan, North America, Europe, this is a very developed world.
Yeah.
People have a good mobile connection, smartphone, is kind of like a common thing. So on Gstar, I'm the only Chinese mobile game developer that has given a speech.
Yeah.
So in my speech, I actually mentioned one thing. Is I compared it. In order for you to get a 5 GB data plan.
Yeah.
In China, compare that with US, compare that with Korea, right? And compare it with the average Joe's salary.
Yeah.
In order to get a 5 GB data plan in China with a 3G connection,
yeah,
it takes 17% of your monthly income.
Wow.
And in Korea and US, it's 1.7% and 1.5%.
Wow. So it's 10 times more expensive.
Right. So who will pay 15% of his salary?
Yeah.
So when it comes to China, game size is definitely something that you need to be very concerned about.
Okay.
If you're online game, how much bandwidth consumption you're using. The other things, like how you do the culturalization. Like China's is very different.
Yeah.
They're very different pace. There's one time I treated one of my Italian partners in China, and I brought him to a pizza place.
Yeah.
And he's just disgusted by the pizza that I showed him. You're like, this is not pizza. This is abomination, right? But that's what Chinese need. Like they have a very different taste. They may heard about your game. They may think, oh yeah, your game is great. And they'll play it. And actually, a lot of my partner always comes to me and say, Jeff, my game is very popular. And I'm like, what do you mean by very popular? Oh, my game is downloaded more than 5 million times in China. And I'm like, yeah. First of all, 5 million in China is not a big number.
Okay. What is a big number in China?
Big number will be if you tell me in a month you got 30 million.
Wow.
Then that's a
yeah, yeah.
The second thing is, then I'll ask this follow-up question is like, so how much do you have now? And go like, not much. And I'm like, well, that means what did that mean? Like, have you thought about what did that mean? And go like, well, my game is popular. I'm like, no. People know about your game.
Yeah.
But people don't like it.
Yeah, fair enough. That makes sense.
Right? And why do they not like your game? Maybe your game is just not fit for China.
Yeah.
But if you already generate 5 million downloads, it means that it's an interest for them.
Yeah.
But maybe somewhere in your game, there's a disconnect. That's what you need to find in publishers, help you rebuild your game, or culturalize your games to fix that disconnection.
Yeah. Okay, that's interesting. That's very, thank you very much for that. Okay, final kind of question we're asking people. We're coming to the end of the year, not like Chinese year, we're coming to the end of the year. 2014 is on its way. We've got a new conference there, so we're looking at new trends. So what do you've seen a lot of trends, what do you think is going to be big in 2014? What's coming, what should we be aware of, how will the market look?
Well, globally, we were already seeing, I think it's getting harder and harder for indies to pop up. I remember in the early days, it's all indies. It's like the top 100 it's almost all indies.
Yeah.
Right. If you look at now in the top 100, you have like all the big conglomerates.
Yeah.
Right. So for indies, it's going to be a tougher year.
Yeah.
To break through all the noises and big marketing spend of the big boys. Right. So I think for indies, it's getting back to the model, which is you need to find a publisher.
Yeah.
No matter if you're publishing in your own region, unless you have some really cool ideas of how to market the game.
Yeah.
And I think for indies, this is the key. It used to be for indies like you can come up with a very innovative idea to make a game.
Yeah.
That's all.
That's enough. Yeah.
Right. Now you need to be very innovative in the game. On top, you need to be very innovative in the market.
Yeah.
Right. If you have that two skill set, definitely you can do it. You can still do it yourself.
Yeah.
But if you don't have the second skill set, then better you find a partner to do it.
Yeah.
Now, for China, I think a lot of consolidation is happening in China. Whether it's channel, whether it's billing platform, there's a lot of consolidation.
Yeah.
And there's also a lot of Chinese company now that is going to the West, publishing their game to the West, and also a lot of company like mine, which is taking a title from globally to China.
Yeah.
And I think for a developer that comes to the US, you really need to be very careful who you pick.
Yeah.
Because China is going to be, I think within the next 3 years, going to be the biggest market.
Yeah. I mean, I think in downloads it's pretty much there already.
I mean, downloads is already there already. I mean, it's sheer volume of
Yeah.
population.